first, when you look at trade, do we just, are the market getting used to the idea that it's a kind of tit for tat and we don't really have a resolution, but they can cope?
Yeah, I mean, essentially the distance by which the equity market bounces or declines when we get these marginally positive or negative bits of news is now pretty small. But I have to say, I still don't think that the equity market is necessarily looking at the same world as the bond market. There's a dramatic difference in what those two are pricing. I'm a bond guy, so I'm going to say this, but I definitely think that the bond market is closer to being accurately priced. In terms of the actual negotiations themselves, the fact that they can't even agree on a date now is not a particularly positive sign when we've already rode way back from where we were sort of 6 months ago in terms of what's been agreed, and that was before we'd even got near to dealing with the very tricky issues, which are, the things we all know about, stuff like IP and enforcement of any agreement and how that's going to work going forward. So to me, I think this is going to be here to stay until the next presidential election.
James, looking at my market moves, I can do that on the Bloomberg terminal. Thank you for putting it actually on my phone, so I read them better than on screen. If you look at the UK 10-year yield all-time low, Italian 10-year yield all-time low, German 10-year yield all-time low, how low can they go?
Wow, I mean, that's a good question. Everybody said when you got to zero in European yields that would be the floor, and we've blasted through there with ease, essentially. You have 10-year yields in Germany that are below now minus 70 basis points when the cash rate is at minus 40 basis points. There are many reasons for that above and beyond just a pure view of the economy, but realistically, central banks set the tone. They're the ones that set the price of money, the risk-free rate, and everything else goes from there. And so far, we're not seeing any evidence that central banks are having an introspective moment where they look at themselves, they look at the policies that they've enacted, and they start to question whether or not they're part of the problem rather than part of the solution. Until they do that, I think we can continue this way.